Good evening. It is one of the most volatile and dangerous countries on the map, a safe haven for the most aggressive Al-Qaeda branch in the world. And tonight, the country of Yemen is spiraling out of control. World leaders scrambled today to the UN for an emergency meeting as the U.S. this weekend pulled out its last remaining special forces there, saying it is no longer safe for them. This as a disturbing report surfaced of an alleged ISIS hit list, names, pictures, and addresses of American soldiers published online as targets. We'll go to our Pentagon correspondent Jim Miklashevsky in a moment with that story. But first, White House correspondent Kristen Welker. Kristen, good evening.
Savannah, good evening to you. In a statement released late today, UN Ambassador Samantha Power reaffirmed U.S. support for the president of Yemen and strongly condemned the attacks by opposition forces. The UN Security Council signaling there will be consequences, likely in the form of sanctions, if the violence doesn't end. Rebels fired tear gas as sectarian fighting intensified in the streets of Yemen. This afternoon, the UN Security Council held an emergency meeting and called for an end to the bloodshed. It was Shiite Houthi rebels who drove out Yemen's U.S.-backed president months ago. They have since claimed large parts of the country and overnight seized the third largest city, Taiz, just 85 miles from where Yemen's president established a base. This weekend, the U.S. pulled out the last of its special forces, key to the counterterrorism campaign, after intensified fighting and a bloody mosque attack claimed by ISIS killed more than 100 people.
But we have been drawing down our presence there for some time as the situation has gone from bad to worse.
Yemen, home to Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, is a breeding ground for terrorists. The underwear bomber who tried to bring down a U.S. jetliner in 2009 and one of the Charlie Hebdo shooters in Paris was trained in Yemen.
Good intelligence stopped plots against the homeland. Without that intelligence, we cannot effectively stop it. That's what I'm most concerned about.
In an interview with NBC News last month, President Obama said the U.S. will continue to combat terrorists in the region.
And we've been continually able to maintain pressure on Al-Qaeda in that region.
Can you do that without a government that's a partner?
You know, we feel confident that we can maintain that pressure.
And late today, a U.S. official told NBC News that's still the case. But the chaos has created a new opening for Al-Qaeda and ISIS to thrive.
And while they are certainly focused at the moment on things going on in Yemen, we know they have objectives that go much further and include the United States.
Now, one foreign policy expert says the Obama administration still has the ability to fly unmanned drones in the region. U.S. officials won't comment on the drone program. Meanwhile, President Obama will meet with the new Afghan president here at the White House on Tuesday, but the crisis in Yemen will continue to dominate foreign policy discussions this week.